Today, we're plunging into the world of email marketing platforms. Specifically, we're taking a close look at two big names you've shared sources on. Brevo, which you might know better as the former Sendinblue, and Klaviyo.
That's right. You've given us a stack of, well, articles, reviews, forum discussions comparing these two. And our mission, really, is to help you cut through all that noise.
Yeah, pull out the important stuff.
Exactly. Pull out the most important insights, maybe some surprising facts, the key distinctions, so you can really understand who these platforms are built for.
And figure out which one might fit best depending on the business need.
Precisely. Both are definitely major players, particularly popular with businesses looking to connect with customers online. And Klaviyo certainly has a reputation that, well, precedes it in the e-commerce world.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. Maybe start with a high-level feel for who these players are.
Good idea.
So Brevo, based on your sources, it's presented as more of a comprehensive marketing solution?
Right. Not just email.
Exactly. It brings in SMS, includes a built-in CRM. It's Paris-based, I believe?
Yep. And it tends to position itself as really user-friendly.
Aimed primarily at small to medium-sized businesses, yeah.
That's the focus. And what's interesting, like you said, is how often the sources highlight its value for money.
It's picked up awards, hasn't it? From Email 2 Tester.
Yeah, consistently. 2023, 2024, 2025 mentioned in the sources. That says something about its perceived value.
And then you have Klaviyo. The sources describe it as having a much tighter focus, right?
Absolutely. E-commerce businesses. That's their playground.
Its specialty seems to be deeply personalized email marketing and powerful analytics, really zeroing in on user behavior.
The whole platform seems designed to help online stores segment audiences incredibly granularly and automate campaigns with a strong eye on, directly enhancing revenue and ROI.
Makes sense. And what about popularity? Ratings?
It's a bit mixed depending on where you look. Klaviyo often has more reviews and some analyses, while Brevo might edge it out slightly on average rating in others. But the takeaway is clear. Both are highly rated.
And popular, especially with small businesses, according to that G2 data you shared.
Exactly. So both are strong contenders.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Diving into the specific capabilities. What can they actually do?
Yeah, the feature face-off.
Where do they truly shine or, differ? Let's start with Klaviyo's big strength, e-commerce specialization.
Absolutely. Klaviyo is consistently described as excelling here. And it really seems to come down to the depth of its native integrations.
Integrations with platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce,
Magento, BigCommerce, the big ones. And these aren't just surface-level connections. The sources emphasize they allow for incredibly comprehensive data synchronization.
So not just customer names.
No. It's pulling in purchase history, browsing behavior, things that let you build a really rich picture of each customer.
And that deep data sync powers things like dynamic product feeds.
Exactly. Showing someone products related to what they just viewed. And crucial revenue attribution.
So you can see exactly which emails are driving sales.
Precisely. Link email metrics directly to dollars and cents. That Reddit thread you shared echoed this. Users specifically called out Klaviyo being rock solid for Shopify.
Okay. But Brevo also offers e-commerce integrations. Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento were mentioned.
It does. And the sources confirm they provide essential data sync for segmentation, personalization, so you can still connect purchases to profiles.
But maybe not the same depth. Is that the takeaway?
That seems to be the suggestion in some articles. It's well-equipped, sure, but perhaps lacks that same level of specialized, super deep e-commerce functionality that Klaviyo builds its whole identity around.
Got it. Okay, moving on to automation capabilities. Both offer it, but how do they compare?
Yeah, both definitely have marketing automation, but the sources paint a picture of slightly different approaches. Klaviyo's automation is described as, well, robust, quite sophisticated.
Designed for complex customer journeys.
Yes, based on those deep behavioral triggers we just talked about. It uses predictive analytics.
Like guessing what a customer might do next, likelihood to purchase, churn risk, that sort of thing.
Exactly that. And it has a visual flow editor, which helps map out these complex sequences visually.
Makes sense for complicated setups.
Plus, sources note it comes packed with many built-in flows right out of the box. Abandoned cart, welcome series, the usual suspects, but often quite refined.
And Brevo's automation, how's that described?
Brevo's is highlighted as solid, workflow-based. You can set up triggered campaigns, do lead scoring.
Which is like rating how hot a lead is based on their actions.
Precisely. And you can test your workflows. The general vibe from the sources is that Brevo's automation has a lower learning curve.
Easier to get started with.
Yeah, a more straightforward setup compared to the potential complexity in Klaviyo.
Okay.
And one really interesting point that came up, seemingly unique to Brevo. It supports unlimited contacts in automation workflows, regardless of the plan.
Unlimited contacts and automation. Wow, that could be a huge deal depending on your list size, right?
Absolutely. Could be a major cost factor or enabler, depending on how you work.
Okay, segmentation and personalization. Crucial stuff. How do they stack up there?
Klaviyo gets a lot of praise here. Advanced, highly detailed segmentation.
Going beyond just demographics.
Way beyond.
Yeah.
Digging into user behavior, leveraging that predictive analytics stuff, again, to anticipate future actions. It essentially has built-in CDP CRM functionality.
CDP customer data platform, like a central hub for all customer data.
Exactly. Pulling everything together for those rich, detailed customer profiles. And that G2 data you shared backed this up. Klaviyo scored higher specifically on segmentation features.
Right, and Brevo.
Brevo also offers segmentation based on various criteria, behaviors, and you can use automated workflows to build and update lists.
I saw one source mention Brevo has AI-backed segmentation suggestions.
Yeah, that's an interesting addition. AI helping you spot potential segments you might have missed.
And it has that free built-in CRM we mentioned earlier.
Right, described as a simpler solution compared to, full-blown Salesforce, but valuable for managing contacts and basic interactions within the same platform.
Now, a clear difference seemed to be multi-channel capabilities.
Definitely stands out in the sources. Brevo is highlighted for being a truly unified platform.
Meaning?
You manage email, SMS, chat, and even WhatsApp messaging, all from a single dashboard.
Ah, okay. So coordinated campaigns across different touchpoints, all in one place.
Exactly. Keeps things organized.
Whereas Klaviyo focuses more on email and SMS?
Primarily, yes. It has advanced SMS features, tightly integrated and tailored specifically for e-commerce use cases.
So maybe not the same breadth as Brevo with chat and WhatsApp, but its SMS is noted as strong within its core e-commerce focus.
That seems to be the consensus.
What about AI features? Both seem to be jumping on that bandwagon.
They are. Brevo's AI assistant, according to the sources, helps generate email content.
And that's even on the free plan.
Apparently so. On paid plans, they add predictive sending times, using AI to figure out the optimal send time for engagement.
And Klaviyo's AI.
They have an AI-powered subject line assistant. Helps craft compelling subject lines.
Useful.
And they use AI for predictive analytics, forecasting customer lifetime value, churn risk, things like that.
Yeah.
And like Brevo, on paid plans, Klaviyo brings AI into customer conversations, summarizing chats, drafting replies.
Okay. Transactional emails, order confirmations, shipping updates, password resets. How do they handle those?
Both offer features. Brevo is noted for being easy to use and affordable for this, particularly via SMTP.
SMTP being the standard way servers send those kinds of emails.
Right. Klaviyo also provides customizable and advanced options for transactional messages.
Got it. And any other standout tools mentioned?
Yeah, a couple. Brevo has that built-in landing page builder on paid plans, plus the free CRM.
Okay.
Klaviyo is noted for advanced A/B testing and optimization tools, and its powerful reporting, especially linking directly back to revenue.
Ah, that revenue attribution again.
Exactly. And Brevo also got a mention for some social media integration, though it wasn't a huge focus.
Okay, let's shift gears. User experience. This seems like a major point of comparison in the sources. How easy are they to actually use?
Yeah, this looks like a key battleground. Brevo is pretty consistently described as more intuitive.
User-friendly, especially for beginners.
That's the word. Sources mention guided setup, a lower learning curve, suggesting it's more accessible if you don't have a dedicated email specialist on the team.
And the G2 data backed that up, showing Brevo scored higher on ease of use.
It did. Klaviyo, on the other hand, while everyone acknowledges its dashboard is powerful, packed with analytics.
It can be overwhelming.
That's the feedback.
Yeah.
Especially for new users. Sources note it definitely has a steeper learning curve.
Requires more time, maybe training, to really leverage its advanced features.
Exactly. I remember one reviewer comment about needing a workaround for a WooCommerce issue and finding the initial setup confusing.
Sounds like a classic power versus simplicity trade-off.
It really does.
What about the email editors themselves? Building the emails.
Both offer drag and drop, which is standard now. Brevo's is noted for being fast and simple.
Good selection of templates.
Yeah, sources mentioned around 48 responsive templates, organized by purpose, which is helpful.
And Klaviyo's editor, also drag and drop.
Also drag and drop. Also fast. But the sources emphasize its customizable options. More, those dynamic content blocks, personalized product feeds we talked about.
Allowing for more highly tailored messages within the editor itself.
Right. More power, perhaps slightly more complexity again.
Okay, arguably the most critical part. Getting emails into the inbox. Support and deliverability. How do they fare?
Customer support reviews seem a bit mixed for both, which honestly isn't unusual for platforms like these.
True. What specifics came up for Brevo?
One source highlighted their 24/7 email support for all users, even free plans, plus multilingual support. Paid plans add phone and live chat.
Sounds pretty good.
But another source found Brevo support could be, quote, hit or miss, with varying response times. Interestingly, though, that G2 data showed Brevo scoring higher on quality of support overall.
Okay. And Klaviyo's support?
It's tiered. Email and live chat during business hours, but no phone support.
Their phone. Okay.
But the sources point to a wealth of self-service resources, knowledge base, tutorials, a very active community forum.
So lots of ways to find answers yourself?
Potentially. User reviews mention support can be responsive and knowledgeable, but also flagged slow response times sometimes, or difficulty getting help on tricky technical issues.
Right. Now, deliverability, the big one. What did the sources say?
This is where it gets really interesting and a bit contradictory sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Email Tool Tester noted Brevo's deliverability as occasionally inconsistent but having solid technical foundations.
Okay.
Moosend, another source, noted Klaviyo users highlighting consistent deliverability. And the G2 data gives Klaviyo a slightly higher score for email deliverability and high-volume sending.
So slight edge to Klaviyo in some reports.
Maybe. But then, those Reddit discussions brought up perceived issues, specifically with Klaviyo's shared IP deliverability.
Shared IPs versus dedicated IPs. That can make a difference.
It can. And some users on Reddit felt Brevo's shared IPs were actually decent, so it's nuanced.
It sounds like perceived deliverability versus measured scores might differ, and sender practices matter a lot too.
Absolutely. List hygiene, sending reputation.
Yeah.
Those are huge factors regardless of the platform. This area seems complex.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk money. Price, huge factor. How do the models compare?
This is a major, major differentiator. Brevo generally follows a volume-based model.
Meaning you pay based on emails sent.
Exactly. Pay for the number of emails sent per month. But, and this is crucial, it allows for unlimited contact.
Unlimited contact.
Which the sources consistently say makes it potentially very cost-effective for businesses with large lists, but maybe lower sending frequency or seasonal spikes.
Makes sense. What about their free plan?
Quite generous on contacts, unlimited, but has a daily sending limit. 300 emails per day.
Okay, a constraint there. And paid plans.
Start at pretty low price points. Sources mention figures like $9 a month for 5,000 emails, or looking annually around $25 a month for 20,000 emails. Quite accessible.
Right. And Klaviyo's pricing, different model.
Totally different. Primarily contact-based. Your cost goes up as your contact list size grows.
Which can get steep, especially for smaller businesses or those with large lists.
That's what one source noted, often considered steeper. And they highlighted a significant change coming in January 2025.
Oh, what's changing?
Pricing will be based on active profiles.
Wait, active profiles. What exactly does that mean? How does that change things compared to just total contacts?
That's a great question, and it's a key nuance. While the exact definition can vary slightly, an active profile typically means a contact you've engaged with recently or who has engaged with your brand, often within, say, the last 12 or 24 months.
Okay, so you're not paying for dormant contacts you collected years ago.
Theoretically, yes. You're paying for the segment of your list that's currently most relevant or engaged. For businesses with super clean, highly engaged lists, maybe it won't change much.
But for those with big, older databases where they only really market to a smaller active segment...
It could still end up costing more than Brevo's unlimited contacts approach, especially as that active list grows. The sources really emphasize that choosing between them heavily depends on your list size, your sending frequency, and how you segment.
It really forces you to think about how you manage your list.
Definitely.
Okay, let's try bring all this together. Based on everything in these sources, who really should lean towards which platform? What's the distilled recommendation?
The sources generally seem to synthesize it like this. You should strongly consider choosing Klaviyo if you're an e-commerce business where those deep native platform integrations are absolutely essential.
For pulling in all that rich customer data.
Exactly. And if you need advanced data analytics, really sophisticated segmentation based on precise behavior, and complex automation tightly linked to purchase history and browsing.
And you're willing to invest more, both time and budget.
Right. Invest more budget and, crucially, the time to master a powerful tool specifically designed to drive revenue through detailed customer insights. The sources really position it as the go-to for online stores focused on maximizing data-driven sales.
Makes sense. And the flip side, when should you likely choose Brevo?
Brevo comes recommended if you're a small to medium-sized business looking for a solution that offers, excellent value for money.
Especially if you have a large contact list where that unlimited contacts feature is a big win.
Huge potential win there. And if you prioritize ease of use, need a lower learning curve for your team, and want a straightforward all-in-one platform.
The one that bundles email, SMS, maybe chat WhatsApp, plus includes that free integrated CRM.
Exactly. It's framed as the choice for budget-conscious businesses needing solid, broad marketing features without overwhelming complexity or that steep learning curve.
Okay, so if we had to summarize the core trade-off highlighted across these sources.
It seemed to be. Klaviyo offers powerful, highly specialized e-commerce features and deep analytics designed for maximizing revenue from online stores. More power, more focus, potentially higher cost and complexity.
While Brevo provides a more accessible, cost-effective, and unified multi-channel approach, a strong all-around marketing tool noted for user-friendliness and value, especially with large lists. Broader scope, simpler, better value, perhaps.
That sums up the general picture painted by the sources pretty well.
Ultimately, though, as is often the case, the best choice isn't universal, is it? It's not explicitly stated in black and white in these sources.
Not at all. It depends entirely on your specific business needs, your budget, the technical resources you actually have on your team.
And which features are most critical for helping you achieve your goals right now.
Precisely. So, thinking about these different pricing models we discussed, the specific areas where each platform has that deep power versus broader accessible features, and considering the varied user experiences, the support findings, how do you weigh the value of that highly specialized data-intensive power, which, let's face it, often comes with more complexity and a higher price tag against the appeal of accessible, cost-effective, all-in-one simplicity for your business's growth journey? What single factor, when you really boil it down, is truly the most important for you right now in making that kind of decision?